Are you ready to get Hirstified? A show about patriotism and politics with Lan Yap. Your host, Michelle Hirstis, has been in politics for years and is also a children's book author, illustrator, and publisher with 10 books out. She recently received a Literary Artist of the Year award for her nationally recognized book, One Flag, One America, sold across the country and available on Amazon. You can follow and get behind the scenes with Hirstified on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube. Keep your radios on and let's get Hirstified right now.
All right. Man, I like that intro. Man, I sound all professional and everything. Okay, so you are listening to Get Hirstified with Michelle Hirstis here. We're on WGSO 990 AM. And you can listen to me every Monday from 3 to 4. And we're also live on Facebook on my Hirstified page. And we're going to be live on New Right Network in just a little bit. New Right Network, if you don't know, they have shows like the Wayne Dupree Show right now, Dr. Duke Show. So they're getting pretty big and well known. But we have a really good show today. We're going to have Senator Sharon Hewitt on to talk about the governor's race. We'll have probably some open lines, maybe around 3:15. You can call in 504-556-9696. We're going to talk a little bit about the Trumpster, and I'm so excited. We've got Marc on. He is the strategic planner, developer, like the whole kit and caboodle for the Trump campaign for Trump 2020. So we're going to have him on, so you got to stay tuned. And then, of course, my Where You At New Orleans is brought to you by Tic Toc Cafe, 24/7 breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're in Metairie, right off of Causeway. As a matter of fact, I just came from there, and I had their Monday special, red beans and rice. OMG. Like, so good. Like, the seasoning was just right. I got a side of pork chop. I got a biscuit. I got a side salad. I even have enough. I couldn't eat it all. And Monica was my lady that served me today. She was so friendly. So if y'all do get a chance, stop over there. I want to know, what is your favorite po' boy and where? So be sure to call in for that 504-556-9696.
Just in time for Po' Boy Fest that was yesterday.
That's right. I forgot that was this weekend.
Yeah, it was really cool yesterday in Oak Street.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk about that. I want to know what y'all's favorite po' boy is. Okay, so we have Miss Senator Sharon Hewitt. I love her. Like, honestly, I hope, like, I'm not going to say if Rispone loses because we hope that he doesn't. But if he does, Sharon Hewitt has to run for governor. Like, this lady is the bomb. And she's a strong conservative. She gets things done in Louisiana. Sharon has worked in the oil and gas industry when women were not really allowed to, work. She was like the pioneer for this. And she worked so hard for our state and community with improving our literacy programs. She's improved our parks and our playgrounds. She's actually been given the highest honor by the National PTA for Life Achievement Award. I could go on and on and on. So, with that being said, Senator Sharon Hewitt, are you on the line?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
You've been very kind. Thank you.
You are so welcome. When I tell you, like, you are really, like, awesome. Like, if we could clone you a couple of thousand times and just put you all over the Senate, that would be great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I am really excited about the people that we have elected to the Senate all around the state. And I have worked really hard, as a matter of fact, to try to help get good people elected so that we can do a better job of enacting legislation and policy that we know our constituents want us to get done. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't be more optimistic about the future of our state than I am right now.
Yeah, I mean, and shoot, if we could get Edwards out, could you imagine?
Katie bar the door.
Yeah.
If we can get Eddie Rispone in the governor's office,
yes.
We have the most conservative legislature we've had in the history of the state. We're going to accomplish some really great things right in the very first session.
That would be awesome. So with that, I know we've kind of spoken before about, some of these claims that Edwards is, taking credit for. One of them was the teacher bonus. Can you tell me, I guess, what the scoop and the lowdown really is about that?
Well, it's always kind of humorous to me. The governor tends to take credit for all the good things that we accomplish in the legislature and then blames the legislature for anything bad that happens.
Right. Imagine
so,
that.
Yeah, it's very convenient the way that works out. And
Yeah.
the teacher pay raises is an example of that. You know, the governor does like to say that he raised teacher pay by $1,000. We actually had proposed in the legislature $1,200 teacher pay raise.
Wow.
And the governor, of course, can't do anything. The governor's job is CEO of the executive branch. His job is to implement or execute legislation that we pass. You know, so the teacher pay raises happened because the legislature appropriated the money to do that. It was not controversial. It was a bipartisan thing. Everybody believes that we need to pay our teachers more and we need to invest in education.
Definitely.
So, you know, I actually have had teachers argue with me about that, oh, no, the governor did the teacher pay raises. It's like, no, he didn't. He got out in front of that train, but it really was the legislature that did that.
Well, that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I have heard that. I mean, I've seen posts on Facebook, you know, saying, oh, but Edwards, you know, brought in jobs and da-da-da-da. Yeah, he's bringing in jobs. I mean, he's not bringing in jobs. It looks like he is, because we've lost 60,000 people in our state. So, of course, it looks like unemployment went down.
Well, that's right, because we've had more people give up looking for a job. So we actually have an out-migration problem in the state of Louisiana, and it's largely because our tax policies and our litigious environment are driving businesses out of our state. And so fewer people are looking for work. That's why the unemployment numbers are looking better, is because people have given up hope. And I'm very encouraged by Mr. Rispone's, experience and his background in creating jobs. He understands that it is job creators that are the engine for our state. And he knows that we have to get rid of this litigious environment that we have where, you know, it's all about suing people and settling. And that's not good for families. It's not good for businesses either.
No, you're definitely right about that. And I also wanted to talk to you. What's the down and dirty scoop on TOPS? Like, what was that all about?
Well, unfortunately, TOPS was one of those things in every budget that the governor used as a bargaining chip. So the way the process works is the governor proposes a budget. That's the starting point. He proposes his executive budget. And for 3 years in a row, he proposed a budget that had TOPS underfunded.
Wow.
First time, like in the history of the state, where TOPS was not fully funded in the governor's budget. And so what he does then is he puts the legislature in a position of saying, well, if you want to fund TOPS, which of course all of the Republican legislators always want to fund TOPS, because we believe in education and higher education, and we believe that was a promise made to these high school students that if they worked hard, that we would pay for their college education. So what the governor does is he tries to put us in a box by saying, if you want to fund TOPS 100%, then tell me which of these other programs you want to cut. And he gives us some pretty crummy choices. You know, do you want to cut, support for the disabled community? You want to cut early education? What do you want to cut? And so, TOPS is very important, and we have made those difficult cuts. And we did make some cuts in the Department of Health, not that affected any programs, but just affected, I think, some of the waste and the abuse and what have you that happens within that department because they have such a very large budget. So it was the legislature that put the money back in for TOPS.
Wow.
The House Appropriations Committee and Senate Finance Committee are the ones that fully funded TOPS, not the governor. And so it's kind of frustrating to me for him to be taking a victory lap around the state talking about how he's funded TOPS.
Right.
When in fact he did not. We did. He underfunded it. We funded it. But yet he's going to take credit for it now.
I tell you, I guess when when the other people do something and then the head honcho guy goes, "Oh, look at what happened," and then he takes credit for it. I mean, that's just, well, I hate to say it's almost like a Democratic way, but
Well, it's probably not that different than what every governor before him has done.
Yeah.
To be honest, but it is very frustrating because that is something, again, that TOPS is something that we all firmly believe in on the Republican side of the aisle, and for him to do the
Take
to
the
do it
credit,
the way he
yeah.
did was really very disingenuous. Yes.
Well, you said that you don't mind hanging on for the next segment. I do have a caller already that is looking to ask you a question, and then I'd love to go over the diversions, because we talked about that before, you and I. So, and then how we got Rispone elected. So everybody stay tuned. 504-556-9696. You're listening to Get Hirstified on WGSO 990 AM.
Taking a look at traffic this afternoon, I-10 west through Jefferson, things are looking good. I-10 east out of the CBD, some slowing at Howard. In your high-rise delays, we have some slowing at Louisa. Crescent City connection looks good right now, and the causeway is advisory and restriction-free. I'm Janessa Don, WGSO 990 AM.
Do you have a business, product, or cause that needs to get recognized on a world-winning radio show? Call Get Hirstified. 504-982-0710, and we can get you hooked up on my show. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Hirstified. And you can email me at hirstified@yahoo.com, and that's HIRSTIFIED. Get Hirstified! Is your kitchen or bathroom outdated? Thinking about remodeling your home? Contact Secure Homes now. Family owned and operated. We are licensed in residential and commercial construction, and we are fully insured with general liability and workers' compensation. No jobs are too small or too large. Call someone you can count on after the job is done. Building the Gulf South since 1965. Call Secure Homes today at 504-415-9030.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
With a top laid back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby.
Woohoo!
West Coast chillin' with the blues.
All right, we're rocking it over here. You're listening to Get Hirstified. We're on WGSO 990 AM. We're also live on Hirstified Facebook. And I think that's about it. So we have Senator Sharon Hewitt. Are you still with me?
I sure am.
Oh, here you are. Okay. Yeah, you know, we rock out over here, Sharon. I don't know if you know that. Like, we rock out on my show.
It's definitely more fun than some shows.
Right. Okay, so Gary's been on hold since before the break. And so let's get him on. Gary, you on?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Taking
thanks
my
for
call.
holding. Yeah, you're talking to Michelle Hirstis and Senator Sharon Hewitt.
All right. Thank you very much. And what I would like to know, I don't like John Bel Edwards myself. However, I'm completely in the dark about who Rispone is, and I would like you to tell me what business did he come from. Tell me more about him, because basically from the ads, which you don't get too much from that.
Right.
I don't really know who he is or where he came from. Can you help me out?
Sure, Gary. I'd be glad to. Thanks for the question and for giving me an opportunity to tell you about Eddie. First of all, he is just a very respectful Christian man. He's very faithful and very, very committed to doing what he believes is God's plan for his life. So that's the first thing that you should know. He's a successful businessman. He owns a industrial construction company that he built from the ground up. It's in Baton Rouge, and basically he started out in his garage and now employs about 3,000 people.
Wow.
In Baton Rouge. And he's running for office for the first time, but he has been involved, I think, in supporting good candidates and trying to do things to make our state better for a very long time. I've known him mostly because he has been involved in education. He believes that education is the secret to getting people out of poverty. And he's done a lot of things to try to help support, in particular, disadvantaged children and giving them a good education in the Baton Rouge area. I've also worked with him on some workforce initiatives, so he knows that folks that get industry-based credentials and go through 2-year, technical programs in many cases can work in the state of Louisiana because we have so much manufacturing and industrial work available, nursing programs. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can go to work with an industry-based certification making $45,000 a year starting salary.
Wow.
And so he's worked very hard in the past on his own time in trying to connect the dots between employers and students so that, we have Louisiana families working here in Louisiana for Louisiana companies. And our people didn't have to go out of state to find a job. And our companies here in Louisiana weren't seeking employees from other states. And so I think he carries a lot of that philosophy into this job. I know him to be someone that surrounds himself with good people. He'll never pretend like he has all the answers. He'll want to involve other people in helping him develop the best solutions and be part of the solution, particularly people that are closest to the work. So if he's working on an education issue, you can bet that all the people that are experts in education will be part of the conversation at the table. And so I just like the way he thinks. He's a problem solver. He wants what's best for Louisiana. He doesn't need this job. He doesn't come from a political background. And I think he's going to be a breath of fresh air for our state. And the things that you and I are talking about with our families around the kitchen table are the same things he's been talking about with his 24 grandchildren and children for all these years. And he's finally decided to step up and try to do something about it.
Good. Well, I'm sorry.
I have great respect for him, and I'm fully supporting him and hope that your listeners will as well, and folks like Gary.
Yeah, definitely. Gary, I think that kind of answered your question, huh?
Yes, it did. I was very clear now. I know 1,000 times, and saying he's a Christian, well, he's going to be in the snake pit if he's a Christian. But and saying that he's built any company from the ground up instead of being an elective, career politician. So that sealed it for me. I heard all I needed to hear.
Well, thank you, Gary.
Much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for your call. Now, I have an important question, Sharon, and I know many people have been asking about this. What is going on with these diversions? I know that Edwards put that fast track on and sent in for the infrastructure for that Trump bill or act or whatever it was, and we're freaking out over here because I don't want to lose my Louisiana seafood industry.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of concern from the seafood folks about the impact on the diversions, and we got a little taste of that when we opened up the Bonnie Carey spillway for such a long period of time. As you know and your listeners know, we just about killed the oysters.
Yep.
It's so bad right now that the restaurants that serve oysters regularly on their menus aren't even serving raw oysters right now, and they're broiling them.
Wow.
Some of the folks, but they have a limited supply, and they're not going to bring in oysters from other places. We want Louisiana oysters on our menu.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been crippling. One of the toughest things about it, and I do get what they're trying to accomplish, they're trying to sort of recreate in a more controlled way how the Mississippi River naturally built land back in the day by changing course and depositing sediment. And so they're trying to kind of mimic that through a diversion. But the challenge is that we have built up, communities around the river and industries and people's livelihoods that now the unintended consequences can be significant, and they're hard to model and to predict exactly what those unintended consequences could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that anybody expected when we opened up the Bonnie Carey Spillway, for us to have all the algae blooms and to close the Mississippi Gulf Coast beaches.
Right. That was bad.
So those folks that was bad, and they're very concerned about that, how it might affect them, the diversions that we're talking about down in St. Bernard and Plaquemine. The other thing that I keep talking about, I have an engineering background, and so I try to approach these things from kind of a science perspective. I am very concerned about whether we have properly included in our modeling the impact of subsidence. You know what that is? That's the land is sinking.
Right.
The land naturally sinks because lots of the sediments were, it's decayed plants and what have you, and these things compress, and the land continues to sink. And we do have some sea level rise, but the predominance of what's happening is the land is sinking, not as much the water is rising.
Wow.
And you can't add sediment on top of sinking land and it not continue to sink.
Wow. Now, what about dredging?
In some cases, well, to some extent that, I think dredging works, and it has worked in some places as well, but you can't deposit it, I don't think, as much sediment through dredging as you can through a diversion.
Mm-hmm.
And so, some of what the models have shown is that they believe diversions are the only way to build land in some of those areas. My point is, I'm not sure, even after you do that and put some of the seafood folks and others at risk, I'm not sure that you're really going to build land that's sustainable, that's still going to be here
Sharon,
10, 20, 50 years from now.
Okay, I got to go on break. I'm so sorry. Thanks for being on. Is your kitchen or bathroom outdated? Thinking about remodeling your home? Contact Secure Homes now. Family owned and operated. We are licensed in residential and commercial construction, and we are fully insured with general liability and workers' compensation. No jobs are too small or too large. Call someone you can count on after the job is done. Building the Gulf South since 1965. Call Secure Homes today at 504-415-9030.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I feel like if I didn't have anyone to push me, I wouldn't even bother to do it. I got one milestone down the drain, and now I got to work on the next. I see the future is really bright for me. I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you go back and get it done. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
No one gets a diploma alone. You have more support than you realize. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hi, Mom. Is Claire's birthday party today? Me again, Mom. Where did I put my history book? Hi, sorry, forgot one last thing. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate. At school, I start looking out the window, and then I forget what I was supposed to be thinking about. I know it seems like I don't care, but I do. It's just difficult for me. Love you, Mom. Bye.
Join parents and experts at Understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive. Brought to you by Understood.org and the Ad Council.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Brooke Thorington. Gubernatorial challenger Eddie Rispone was among those to take advantage of early voting this morning in Baton Rouge. Rispone's recent statements that Governor Edwards has tarnished the name of West Point Military Academy has garnered criticism. Rispone says the comments were inspired by talking to veterans along the campaign trail.
2 West Point people mentioned that to me, and I guess I've been politically correct. I should not have brought it up. But 2 of them came in and said they're embarrassed about what he will do to stay in power. That's why it came to mind.
Governor Edwards says he's not ashamed of his accomplishments since leaving West Point.
I have worked every day, every single day, to improve the lives of the hardworking people of our state, regardless of race, political party, geography. That's who I am. That's my record of service. It's a record that I'm proud of.
And the governor reiterated how proud he was that he was able to keep his campaign promise of righting the state's finances after the Jindal years left the budget in chaos. Early voting ends this Saturday, and Election Day is November 16th. LRN.
Hey, yeah, I'm looking for the new Saints scratch-off from the lottery. You have those?
You want just one, or would you like to play the field?
Oh, hey, I'll play the field. Go big or go home, right?
Let's go! Come on! Jump! Jump!
Whoa! Did those players just come off those tickets?
They sure did.
Whoa, that's incredible!
Huddle up! Huddle up!
And are they playing a game? On the counter?
They sure are.
Yeah! That's awesome!
Goal 19! Goal 19! Hut! Hut!
Oh, touchdown!
Now you can play the field with $5 We Are the Saints and $2 the New Orleans Saints scratch-offs from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. And don't forget to check out LouisianaLottery.com for information on second chance prizes. Must be 21 to purchase.
That was seriously cool. I want all of them.
And that's how you play the field.
Is your kitchen or bathroom outdated? Thinking about remodeling your home? Contact Secure Homes now. Family owned and operated. We are licensed in residential and commercial construction, and we are fully insured with general liability and workers' compensation. No jobs are too small or too large. Call someone you can count on after the job is done. Building the Gulf South since 1965. Call Secure Homes today at 504-415-9030. Do you have a business, product, or cause that needs to get recognized on a world-winning radio show? Call Get Hirstified, 504-982-0710, and we can get you hooked up on my show. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Hirstified. And you can email me at hirstified@yahoo.com, and that's HIRSTIFIED. Get Hirstified.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to ditch the car and start rollerblading to work.
I look ridiculous.
You look ridiculous!
You don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your organs on the black market.
Lie back. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that hurts.
You don't need to rent out your apartment to drifters.
I made a fire with the wood in your bedroom.
That's my dresser!
And your closet door.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Baby. So, start with a little Kid Rock, and he's coming down to New Orleans. Well, he does, I think, pretty often. So, speaking of that, I've got my Where You At segment, Where You At New Orleans. It's brought to you by Tic Toc Cafe, 24/7 breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right off of Causeway in Metairie. And I want to know, so call in. I want to know 504-556-9696. I want to know what is your favorite po' boy and where do you go get it? Now, this weekend we had the Po' Boy Festival. Adam was talking about that. And I was not able to go because I was working. You know, some people have jobs. But I wish I didn't have to always work every weekend. But you went, huh, Adam?
I think Po' Boy Fest decided that it was the perfect time for everyone to come and have a po' boy when there's no football.
Right.
Something to do.
Exactly.
So that's where I found myself yesterday, walking Oak Street, getting some po' boys.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
now,
it
the
was a
last
great
time
day.
I went, it was so packed. Like, I had to, through people and stuff. So, okay, what po' boys did you get?
Oh, I got, shrimp and crab meat. I got some with, the hot sausage.
Yeah.
Man, I got, some pulled pork ones, like some barbecue.
Dang, how much did you eat, dude?
I only had 3. But I mean, like,
Three po' boys?
But I mean, I was there for 3 hours, so I have one
okay.
each
You
hour.
paced yourself.
And we're sharing the group. You get one po' boy, split that, 2 people.
Oh, you share? See, I don't share. It's all me.
Well, I don't share all of them.
Now, I went a couple of years back, and I had, I don't even know what it's called. It had French fries on the bottom. It had the roast beef with the debris and the gravy, of course, because, it ain't good without all the roast beef gravy. And then they put coleslaw on top. I'm like, what? That was so good. I don't know what it's called, but it should just be called heaven. So, anyway, all right, so we've got some calls coming in. We've got Deplorable Dion. Hey, Deplorable Dion, you're on with Get Hirstified. What's your favorite po' boy?
Hi, you just got finished talking about it. It's at Mother's on Poydras.
Oh, is that who it is?
I don't know. Yes, and it's got the debris and coleslaw. It's absolutely delicious.
Awesome.
But I want to hurry up and also say, Michelle, that you advertise with Tic Toc Cafe.
Yeah.
And I went. It is the cutest little place, and I know they have po' boys and truck. They have a huge hamburger, French fries, and a drink, of course, box for $7.95, and the red beans and rice plate with salad, with the grilled pork chop, $9.95. You can't.
That's what
beat
I
it,
got
and it's
today. Oh, yeah, it was absolutely delicious. Well, thank you for calling in. Now I know it's Mother's, so I can go there and go get, a po' boy. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we've got, Phil the Patriot. Phil the Patriot. You got just about a minute.
Show. Great show as always. Great show as always.
Thank you.
I like that place on Transcontinental Airline. I haven't been there in a long, long, long time because my wife is such a fantastic cook.
Oh.
But, I think it's called Shorty's. It's on Transcontinental Airline.
Oh, okay. What's the po' boy you like over there?
Roast beef.
Now, does the gravy drip down your arms?
A little bit, if I'm a little careless, definitely. But it's still super delicious. And I'll tell you what, I recommend that place to everybody because it's the closest to me anyway. I don't live close by anymore to that place, but I still go once in a while.
Yeah.
And I want y'all to have a great blessed day. But I do have one other thing I want to say.
Hit it.
Make sure that you get out and vote.
Yes.
Make sure you get out and vote. Make sure that you get out and vote for Eddie Rispone. Do not let John Bel Snake Eyes Taco Bel Edwards get back in office. And I mean snake eyes. Look at this man's eyes. Wake up!
Wake up! Yes, wake up, Louisiana. Don't forget, I'm glad you brought that up, Phil, about voting. Voting early right now is going on until, what is it? I don't have my glasses on. Where's my glasses? Until the 9th. And you can go from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Voting day is the 16th. Now, you can get information on the Secretary of State, which is sos.la.gov, or you can get that Go Vote app, and that's GEAUX Vote app. Do we have time? I can do my little thing about the Trump. I wanted to see this real quick.
Oh, yeah, we got time.
Okay, can you pull up that video for me that I sent, if you don't mind? Okay, so Trump Jr., who I love him. And I think, honestly, I know I wish he would have been able to stay in his marriage and everything, but I get it. Divorce happens. And just him and Kim are just so cute together. Well, so he is actually going to be on The View November 7th. That's their 5,000th episode. I can't believe that this show's even been on long enough to have 5,000 episodes. It's just ridiculous. But he's going on now to talk about his new book. And it's called Triggered: How the Left Thrives on Hate and Wants to Silence Us. Like, how appropriate is that title? Because it's very much so. And actually, you know what? I might do a little watch party on that. Wouldn't that be fun? I can do a watch party on my Hirstified Facebook page for The View, watching Donald Trump Jr. That would be fun. Okay, so if y'all on Facebook, look me up, and I'll probably do a little watch party during The View on that one. That's going to be so much fun. Well, anyway, so you got Joy Behar, Fly a Kite Behar, wearing a black shirt that says quid pro quo, okay? And they were going over costumes, like, people doing political costumes. And I'll probably share this later. It was really funny because they had Kim was dressed up as a witch, and then Don Jr. was dressed up at like a hunter. And at first I was like, what's he doing? But it's the costume was witch hunt. I was like, how clever are you? So this is what they had to say about Trump Jr. coming in. Can we play it? Okay, here we go.
Speaking of subtle, and his girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, used their Halloween costumes to echo his dad's favorite catchphrase, they went as a witch hunt. Clever or
I found it pretty clever. I will admit, I laughed when I saw the costume. I think he has a real bow and arrow in his hand. It's not
because he's
toy.
a real hunter. He likes to kill animals.
Yeah.
Why would you brag about something like that?
Yeah.
What, killing animals?
He kills animals.
Well, there are a lot of what do you think, Anna?
Saying.
What do I think? I don't know. Maybe he should have worn a prison suit.
Well, the guy, let me just say.
Orange is the new black.
I know. For the whole administration, right? We will have an opportunity to ask them about this next week because, drum roll, Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle, his girlfriend, will be here live Thursday on our 5,000th show next week.
5,000 shows.
Everyone looks so shocked. Why? We have everyone here.
We have everyone here, but they're coming on. He's got a book.
I think you should wear that shirt.
I don't want to give the whole game away to him. So Mitt Romney.
All right. So first of all, I would have loved to have been in that audience, right? Because I would have been like, "Whoa, rock on, John Jr." But she's saying, okay, so kills animals. Okay, big deal. What, you don't eat meat? They got so many hunters out there. And then wearing orange is the new black. Yeah, shouldn't that be for the Clintons and the Obama administration? I still have yet to find out what Trump and his family have done illegally as president that deserves that. So, all right. Do we have a caller? I see some calls coming in. Oh, good. Okay, so who do we have? Who's been holding on the longest?
That would be our friend Tony in Metairie.
Hey, yo, Tony, what's up?
Whoa, what's up?
You listening to Get Hirstified?
Yeah, I'm listening to what you're talking about. You know that, what's that little restaurant you described?
Tic Toc Cafe?
What's the name of it?
Tic Toc Cafe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, though, that the guy who owns that, there's an interesting story about him and his family and a group called the Ovellas, and they used to have a restaurant on Metairie Road and all.
Oh, cool.
I go back to when I was a teen. I can remember my daddy knew them.
Mike's a great guy. I've talked to him many times.
I think maybe, several years ago or something on Jeff's show one day.
Mm-hmm.
He brought it up. But here's something I'm going to bring up. The sandwich you described there a little while ago, the actual place that started it was a place called Charlie's Delicatessen on Harrison Avenue. It was called The Moon.
The Moon? Okay.
The Moon
all right.
Was actually, in the way they did it, shredded ham, shredded roast beef, provolone and Swiss with coleslaw with a Russian salad dressing drooled in it all over it.
That sounds delicious.
It was. I used to get them. One time they were 15 inches long for $8.
What?
And you could barely eat a half. There was so much meat. and I would take the other half and take it and bring it to my daughter
Yeah.
in school and drop it off for her.
That kind of sounds like we never close. You'd have so much shrimp coming out of it. Yeah.
Always got ruined because of Katrina, but I think a place called Francesca's or something.
Mm-hmm.
500 block of Harrison. I've never tried it. They have one now, but it's kind of on a bun.
Oh, okay. All right.
The one I had was a big po' boy. I think it was a Leidenheimer bread they used back then.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
Moon, the
Appreciate
moon.
it. The moon. Okay. Okay, so real quick before we get Zach for like 2 seconds, I want to say I've got Marc Lotta coming on, so please stay tuned. This is going to be great. He's from the Trump campaign. Zach, real quick from Pearl River. You got like 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
I know, I'm sorry.
You put me on the air.
I know, I'm sorry. What you got?
No, I went and voted today for early voting, so that was a great thing. They had a lot of people going in over here in Slidell. You know, I voted for Rispone, of course, and Mr. Lynch for sheriff, and the past president. I didn't vote for her, that's for sure.
Okay.
I forget the guy's name. Then I voted for the guy with the funny name for the Supreme Court. I don't even know how to say it.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it. You're listening to Michelle on WGSO 990 AM.
Taking a look at traffic this afternoon, I-10 west through Jefferson, you have some slowing, transcontinental to Vets. I-10 east out of the CBD, you're slowing at Ferret. High-rise delays begin through the cemeteries, and then we have some slowing on the upslope. Crescent City Connection, back to Barone, and advisory and restriction free on the Causeway. I'm Janessa Don, WGSO 990 AM.
Is your kitchen or bathroom outdated? Thinking about remodeling your home? Contact Secure Homes now. Family owned and operated, we are licensed in residential and commercial construction, and we are fully insured with general liability and workers' compensation. No jobs are too small or too large. Call someone you can count on after the job is done. Building the Gulf South since 1965. Call Secure Homes today at 504-415-9030.
It was a goal that I wanted to achieve from the very beginning. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. I wasn't sure if I could do it. It was very hard for me, but the teachers, the counselors, they help you. One of the teachers was Miss Araceli. Miss Araceli, she gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll come over and she'll sit there with you until you get it.
At age 47, with the help of his teacher, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work. Getting your high school diploma, it is a life-changing experience. It really is. It catapults you to where you want to go.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, he's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Hello, everybody. This is Larry Matson. Some of you will remember me, some of you won't, and that's okay. My son Daniel and I are teaming up for a whole new radio show right here on WGSO 990 AM. We'll be on from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. weeknights, an exciting hour of sports, news, and hopefully some fun thrown in. Be sure to tune in and give us a listen.
Do I get to say anything?
Sure, that's why we're teaming up.
That's great, so I can keep you on the right track.
990 AM, 6 p.m. weeknights.
We are born free, people, and we are born free because of our military, our veterans, and we should not forget that. USA, people, USA. And we now have a president, Donald J. Trump, that totally loves our country. and he puts America first. I cannot tell you enough how much we have to get Trump in here again. And I am so excited because in a few minutes, I've got Marc Lotta calling in. And I know he's probably like, you're not pronouncing my R. But I guess that's just me. But he is the director of the strategic communications for the Trump 2020 campaign. And I am super, super excited. I've got a couple of questions. I only have him for like 10 minutes. And hopefully he just gives us the scoopity doop 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 on everything going on. Okay, so we got Marc. Marc's on. Marc? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, hi. Michelle Hurst is here. You are on Get Hirstified on WGSO 990 AM. And, you know, I'm saying your name, Marc Lotta, and I was saying that because of my accent, I'm not pronouncing your R.
Well, you make it sound better.
Oh, is that right? Oh, well, thank you. But how do you say it properly?
Lotter.
Okay.
It's like lot. I'm like one short of the lottery, which is just like in real life.
Yeah, there you go. Look, it seems like you did win the lottery. You on the Trump campaign. You're on a winning team.
You know, he wakes up every day and says, "What can we do to win today?"
I love it.
And the record shows that he's doing it.
Yes, exactly. And I'm super excited about it. I mean, he definitely has my vote, and I'm pretty sure all my listeners are voting for him too. So I'm down with that. So I want to ask you, though, how are you feeling about this 2020 campaign?
We're excited. We are within 1 year now, 1 year from yesterday, and it's more than a campaign. It's a movement. And there are so many people out there who I believe felt lied to by candidates from both political parties for years, saying they were going to renegotiate NAFTA because it wasn't fair to American workers, or they were going to get tough with China, or even doing something like, moving the embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Presidents love to talk about it for decades, but they didn't actually get around to doing it because it was difficult. And this is a president who says, conventional wisdom, be darned. If I said I'm going to do something, we're going to do it. So we've got NAFTA renegotiated. If we can get the Democrats off their hind ends in Congress and actually do it, we can put more American workers on the job. He's doing that with China. He did that with the embassy, and time again, it's a president who says, I'm going to put American interests and Americans first, and we're seeing the benefits from it.
Yeah, oh, totally. Like could you imagine like what he could actually get done if they just let him do his job?
It's remarkable, and I think that's one of the reasons why. And you saw that if you saw the commercial that we aired during Game 7 of the World Series last week, you saw at the very end it said, "Well, he's no Mr. Nice Guy," but sometimes that's what it takes to get things done. And I think that's why he was elected, because people were tired of listening to the politicians who always said the right thing, probably did it with a smile and said it with a lot of flourish, but when it came to actually getting things done, nothing was getting done. And so they sent this man with no political background. He was just a successful businessman to get a hold of Washington to stop the bureaucrats and let the elected leaders make the calls. And it's a long-term process, but it's going well so far.
It has. Now, let me ask you too. Do you find that these rhinos like Mitt Romney and that are they becoming a problem?
I don't think they're becoming a problem. I think they've actually turned it into a cottage industry where you can be someone who used to be a Republican and get paid really well to go on MSNBC and CNN, but there's a silent majority out there. There are people out there who want American interests taken care of first. They're more concerned about Americans and their neighbors and the people who go to church and they work with than they are about people who are coming into this country illegally, getting free stuff.
Yeah, oh, totally. I can't understand that we're giving these people that are completely legal aliens over our own veterans and over our own people.
No, you're absolutely right. And just to show you how far the Democrats have gone, how radical they have become. If you remember back in 2010, a Republican member of Congress yelled out during Obama's State of the Union, "You lie."
Yeah.
What you forget is that at that time, President Obama was saying that Obamacare wasn't going to provide free health care to illegal immigrants.
Wow.
He was saying it wasn't going to. And now flash forward to 2019, and every candidate on the stage raises their hand saying they're going to give free health care, taxpayer-funded health care, to people who are in our country illegally. They're going to tax us to do it. And in the process, take away our health care. Take away your Blue Cross Blue Shield and your United Health Care and your Aetna cards and replace it with some bureaucrat government card. And I got to be honest with you, I don't like going to the DMV. Let alone do I want to go stand in line and have some bureaucratic pinhead tell me when I can have health insurance and how it's going to be delivered and then wait months to get it done.
Right. No, I am completely with you. So speaking of on the Democratic debate, who do you think, or has Trump even mentioned who he thinks maybe their candidate is going to be? Y'all think it's Biden?
Well, no. I mean, our pollster even predicted last summer that Joe Biden would not be leading the field come October, and just right on cue, Elizabeth Warren took the lead. She's obviously in the lead right now. There's probably 3 or 4 candidates up there that are amongst that lead pack. But the one thing I can tell you, it really doesn't matter which one of them comes through, because they have all endorsed such crazy policies. I mean, think about this and how it would impact Louisiana. They all want to eliminate fossil fuels and change our energy industry. How much of our energy flows right down the Mississippi River through your ports, either coming in from the Gulf or going out? It would fundamentally wreck Louisiana. It would wreck parts of Texas and so many other parts of our country. And then going back to healthcare, I mean, Liz Warren is saying, well, I mean, I know there's 2 million people who work in the healthcare industry, and well, I mean, in the insurance industry, they can go get jobs selling car insurance or life insurance. They don't have to have jobs in health insurance because that's going to be reserved for the bureaucrats.
Wow.
I mean, they're absolutely just saying, I'm going to take away your jobs and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I know. Don't you love that?
Way.
Right. No, exactly. Now, do you have any inside scoop on this whole secret top conspiracizing impeachment thing that's going on?
Well, I can tell you it's just a giant sham. I mean, much as the president. I mean, let's cut through all of the secret leaks and the secret hearings that Adam Schiff is having, where no one can participate except him. They're accusing Donald Trump of covering up the transcript of a call that he declassified and released.
Right.
They're talking about impeaching President Trump for withholding aid that he distributed.
That's crazy.
And if you listen to them on national media, they're all just up in arms about other people's opinion of a phone call as opposed to just looking at the transcript for yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand either. Like, the transcript has been released. Like, what more do they have than the transcript itself? Like, are they now claiming that they are reading Trump's mind, that he was on the phone thinking of something that, he didn't say out loud? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think the thing that your listeners need to this is so easy when you cut through it. Nancy Pelosi announced the impeachment and the fact that President Trump was guilty the day before the transcript of the phone call came out, and 2 days before the whistleblower gossip column report was released to the public. They know they can't beat him at the ballot box. They've even admitted it, saying if we don't impeach him, he will be reelected.
Wow.
So they decided this was their time. This was where they were going to go all in, shove all their chips into the middle, and not even wait for the facts.
Yeah.
Now they're just trying to invent something to defend what they have done, and I think the American people just see right through it.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that are not even into politics like I am. They're like, oh, I don't really talk about it. They've literally said, I'm so sick of hearing about impeachment from the Democrats. Like, get over it.
Let's remember here, the Washington Post published an article 19 minutes after President Trump took the oath of office talking about the beginning of the impeachment. 19 minutes. He was probably, I'm going to go off memory, still delivering his inaugural address.
Wow.
And the Washington Post had already decided it's time to start talking about impeachment. They are deranged. They are filled with Trump derangement syndrome.
Big time.
And again, when you compare it, jobs are up, paychecks are up, taxes are down, regulations are down. We've got more jobs right now than people who are looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Which means companies are going to have to pay you more to keep you or to attract you. And that means the American worker is the winner, and they can't get over it.
Well, thank you so much. I'm down to like 15 seconds. And Marc, thank you again. Hopefully I can maybe get you on again sometime soon. Appreciate it. You're listening to Michelle Hurst's Get Hirstified, WGSO 990 AM.